The sun hung low over Los Angeles, casting a golden glow across the busy streets. Inside a modest hotel room, Elon Musk sat in front of a laptop, the screen's light reflecting off his face. This was not the workspace of a billionaire, but rather the starting point of an unusual experiment. Musk leaned back in his chair, fingers stroking his chin as he reviewed an idea that had been on his mind for weeks. He had heard countless stories of people being judged by their appearance, stories of indifference, cruelty, and rare moments of kindness. He wondered aloud, how different would people treat me if they had no idea who I was? The concept was not foreign to him. Both Tesla and SpaceX had faced skepticism in their early days, dismissed as unrealistic ventures. But this time, the experiment was personal. Musk had always believed that empathy and innovation were intertwined, that to build for humanity, one must first understand its struggles. Determined to experience this firsthand, he devised a plan. Dressed in worn-out jeans, a faded hoodie, and scuffed sneakers, he slung an old, battered backpack over his shoulder. Inside was nothing but a notebook and a water bottle. He took one last glance in the mirror, barely recognizing the scruffy man staring back at him. Satisfied with his transformation, he stepped out into the streets, his destination set, a luxury car dealership in Beverly Hills, a place where million-dollar transactions were as common as morning coffee. This dealership had stood out during his research. It was known for catering exclusively to the elite, an establishment where status dictated service. It was the perfect place to test how perception shaped reality. As he walked toward the showroom, the contrast between his appearance and his surroundings became glaringly obvious. Sleek sports cars zipped past him, their polished exteriors glinting under the sun. Pedestrians in designer clothing barely spared him a glance, and when they did, their expressions flickered with quiet judgment. Musk felt the weight of their assumptions even before he reached the entrance. Taking a steadying breath, he paused outside the dealership's massive glass windows. Inside, under the glow of showroom lights, an array of luxury cars sat gleaming, their polished bodies reflecting off pristine marble floors. He adjusted his hoodie, squared his shoulders, and stepped inside. The moment he pushed open the heavy glass doors, the atmosphere shifted. Cool, climate-controlled air hit him, carrying the scent of leather and fresh polish. Heads turned briefly in his direction, then quickly looked away. His mismatched outfit and scruffy appearance were impossible to ignore, standing out starkly against the opulence surrounding him. At the far end of the showroom, a sharply dressed salesperson was mid-pitch, gesturing toward a sleek electric car. Nearby, a man in a tailored suit ran his hand along the hood of a luxury coupe, nodding approvingly. Elon scanned the room, noting the subtle shifts in body language, the whispers, the quick glances. He was not just being noticed, he was being judged. At the front desk, a receptionist sat behind a glossy marble counter, her expression polite but distant. She gave him a brief, obligatory smile before returning her focus to her computer. Musk approached her, adjusting the strap of his backpack. "Hi, I am here to ask about your vehicles," he said, his voice even and unhurried. Her eyes flicked over him, from his scuffed sneakers to his slightly unkempt hair. "Do you have an appointment?" she asked, her tone clipped, as if she already knew the answer. "No," Elon replied simply. She hesitated. "Let me see if someone is available." Lifting the phone, she murmured something to a colleague while sneaking another glance at him. A few seconds later, she hung up and gestured vaguely toward the rows of luxury cars. "Feel free to look around. Someone will be with you shortly." Musk nodded, thanking her before wandering deeper into the showroom. It became clear almost immediately, he was not invisible. He was being deliberately avoided. Salespeople who were not actively helping customers suddenly found reasons to look busy, flipping through files, staring at computer screens, or straightening already perfect brochures. Those who were engaged with customers glanced at him warily, their conversations lowering as he walked past. Musk smirked slightly. The experiment was already proving interesting. Their conversations dipped into hushed tones as he moved deeper into the showroom. Musk approached a cobalt blue convertible, its sleek frame gleaming under the bright showroom lights. The car's angular design radiated both power and elegance. He crouched down, running his fingers over the tire's tread before peering into the pristine interior. Every detail was flawless, the stitching on the seats, the polished dashboard, the precision of the craftsmanship. He made a mental note of how meticulously the dealership maintained its inventory. But it was not lost on him that he was still being ignored. A voice, sharp and impatient, cut through the air. "Can I help you with something?" Musk straightened, turning to see a middle-aged salesman in a tailored gray suit standing behind him. His expression was carefully neutral, though his eyes flicked to Musk's worn-out sneakers before settling on his face. "Yes," Musk replied evenly. "I was wondering about the price on this one." The salesman's gaze lingered a second too long before he spoke. "It is quite expensive," he said, his tone laced with an unmistakable undercurrent of dismissal. "Perhaps something in our pre-owned section would be more suitable." Musk's lips twitched slightly, a barely perceptible smile. "I am interested in this model," he insisted, nodding toward the convertible. The salesman hesitated, visibly debating whether to continue the interaction. After a pause, he gave a quick nod. "Let me check on that for you," he said before walking off. Musk watched him go, already knowing he would not return. For the next half hour, he wandered through the showroom, testing reactions. Each interaction, if it could even be called that, followed the same pattern. Politeness, laced with skepticism, followed swiftly by indifference. It was not about what he said. It was about how he looked. Yet Musk was not discouraged. He took mental notes, observing everything with the precision of an engineer. It was never just about the cars. It was about the people, and this experiment was far from over. Elon lingered near a display of high-performance vehicles, taking his time inspecting each one. From the stitching on the seats to the smooth, polished paintwork, everything was immaculate. But while the cars held their own allure, his real focus remained on the human interactions unfolding around him. Time and again, he attempted to engage the sales staff, asking about specifications, warranties, customization options, only to be met with dismissive responses or outright avoidance. At one point, he approached a trio of salespeople huddled near the espresso machine. "Excuse me," he began, gesturing toward a pearl-white luxury SUV displayed in the center of the showroom. "Can someone tell me more about that model?" The three exchanged glances, smirking faintly. One of them, a tall man with meticulously styled hair, stepped forward, his voice dripping with condescension. "That is one of our most exclusive models," he said. "It starts at $150,000, but I am not sure it is what you are looking for." Elon tilted his head slightly. "And why is that?" The man hesitated just long enough to make his point clear. "Well," he offered a forced smile. "It is a bit of an investment, if you know what I mean." "I see." Musk let the words hang in the air for a moment before nodding. "Thanks for letting me know." As he turned away, the salesman leaned toward his colleagues, whispering something that elicited a quiet chuckle. Musk caught a faint snippet of their conversation. "Guy probably cannot even afford an oil change." Despite the blatant disregard, Musk's expression remained neutral. This was not the first time he had encountered skeptics. In fact, he found it fascinating. Still, a faint undercurrent of frustration crept in. Was it really this easy for people to dismiss someone based solely on appearance? As he wandered deeper into the showroom, he noticed the contrast, how differently customers were treated based on how they looked. A well-dressed man, draped in a tailored suit, was being showered with attention. Salespeople circled him eagerly, extolling the virtues of a limited-edition roadster, their enthusiasm uncontainable. A woman, casually flipping through a catalog while draped in designer labels, was being offered complimentary champagne as they discussed customization options. The disparity could not have been clearer. Then, something different. Musk found himself near a younger employee, who was meticulously arranging brochures on a counter. Unlike the others, this person had not laughed at him. They had not whispered or smirked. They had not avoided eye contact. Musk took a step closer, observing. Finally, he spoke, his voice cutting through the quiet. "Excuse me." The young salesman looked up, momentarily startled, but not dismissive. Their gaze scanned him briefly before settling into something neutral, maybe even genuine curiosity. "Yes," the employee said. "How can I help you?" The young salesperson's tone was polite but cautious as they responded, "Of course. What would you like to know?" For the first time since stepping into the dealership, Musk felt like he was being treated with genuine respect. Unlike the others, this employee showed no arrogance, no skepticism, just professionalism. They explained the car's features with clarity and enthusiasm, answering each of Musk's questions with patience. Musk found himself smiling, not because of the car, but because of the person standing in front of him. There was something refreshing about their approach, something real. He made a mental note to see if this behavior was consistent or just an anomaly. As the experiment evolved, he could feel the momentum shifting. Jordan, as the employee later introduced themselves, led Musk toward the electric car he had pointed out earlier. Their energy was strikingly different from the rest of the staff. "This is one of our most popular models," Jordan said, gesturing toward the vehicle. "It combines top-tier performance with cutting-edge technology. Let me show you a few features." As they spoke, Musk observed the details of their approach. Unlike the other salespeople, Jordan showed no trace of condescension or hesitation. Instead, they were patient, engaged, and, most importantly, genuine. Jordan opened the car door, stepping back and inviting Musk to take a closer look. "Feel free to sit inside," they offered. "The seats are made with eco-friendly materials, and the dashboard integrates seamlessly with smart devices." Musk slid into the driver's seat, running his fingers over the steering wheel. The craftsmanship was flawless. "What is the range on this one?" he asked, glancing at Jordan. "Approximately 300 miles on a full charge," they replied confidently. "And with a fast charger, you can reach 80% in under 30 minutes. Their answers were thorough, thoughtful, and, unlike every other interaction Musk had encountered that day, devoid of assumptions. He pressed further, inquiring about customization options, safety features, and the availability of test drives. Jordan answered each question with the same level of respect and knowledge, never once faltering in their professionalism. "You seem to know a lot about these cars," Musk remarked as he stepped out of the vehicle. Jordan smiled, a quiet pride flashing across their face. "I have always loved cars, especially ones that push the boundaries of innovation. That is why I joined this dealership, to learn more about the cutting edge of automotive technology." Musk nodded, intrigued. He could see that this was not just a job to Jordan. It was a passion. It reminded him of his own beginnings, when people doubted his ideas, dismissed his vision, and judged him before they understood him. His gaze drifted across the showroom again, watching how the other staff members continued to ignore him, their attention laser-focused on wealthier-looking clients. The contrast between their superficiality and Jordan's sincerity was impossible to ignore. "What is your name?" Musk asked. "Jordan," they replied. "And yours?" Musk smiled, offering a simple response. "Elon." Jordan did not flinch. Did not react. Did not register the name at all. To them, he was just another customer. And that was exactly what made this moment so significant. "Thanks for your help, Jordan," Musk said. "I really appreciate it." "Of course," Jordan replied warmly. "Let me know if you have any more questions. I will be right over there." As Jordan walked away, Musk stood in silence, processing what had just transpired. It was not just their kindness or professionalism that struck him, it was their integrity. Jordan had not treated him differently because they thought he was important or wealthy. They had treated him with dignity simply because it was the right thing to do. This was the moment Musk had been waiting for. The time to reveal his identity was approaching, and with it, the culmination of his experiment. Musk lingered near the entrance, watching as Jordan moved seamlessly between tasks, assisting other customers with the same enthusiasm and care they had shown him. Meanwhile, the other salespeople continued their charade of indifference, unaware of the pivotal moment about to unfold. Taking a deep breath, Musk approached Jordan again, who was organizing a stack of promotional materials on the counter. "Jordan," he began, his voice calm but with unmistakable weight behind it, "I have one more question for you." Jordan turned toward him, smiling. "Of course. What do you need?" Musk's expression remained steady. "What is the most expensive car you have here?" Jordan blinked, slightly surprised by the question. "That would be the Crimson E-Class over there," they said, pointing toward a sleek, futuristic vehicle displayed under soft showroom lights. "It is fully loaded with all available options and priced at just over $250,000. Musk nodded thoughtfully. "And how long would it take to finalize a purchase if someone wanted it?" Jordan tilted their head, considering the logistics. "We would need some paperwork, proof of financing, and insurance details. It usually takes a couple of hours." Then, Jordan hesitated slightly before asking, "Are you interested in that car?" Musk's lips curved into a faint smile. "Very." The hesitation in Jordan's eyes was brief, but Musk noticed it. "I will be honest," Jordan said carefully. "Most people do not make decisions like this on the spot. Are you sure it is the right fit for you?" Musk chuckled softly. "Oh, I am sure." Before Jordan could respond, Musk reached into his pocket and pulled out a sleek black card. The moment it caught the light, a ripple of awareness spread through the showroom. The Platinum Tesla card, a rare item reserved for the company's top executives, gleamed under the bright overhead lights. The receptionist's eyes widened. Across the room, salespeople who had once dismissed Musk now froze in place, their conversations abruptly cut off. Heads turned, curiosity morphing into disbelief. Jordan blinked, their composure slipping for just a second before they quickly regained their footing. "Wait, are you Elon Musk?" they asked, extending a hand. A wave of silence swept through the dealership. Customers, staff, everyone, turned to stare. The man they had judged and ignored just moments ago was now revealed to be the very embodiment of success and innovation. Musk clasped Jordan's hand firmly, shaking it. "You thought I was just some random guy," Musk said, his tone kind, not mocking. Jordan swallowed, their voice slightly unsteady. I did not realize. I mean, I just thought." Musk smiled. "And that is what makes you different." He glanced briefly at the senior salespeople, the ones who had avoided him, mocked him, written him off the moment he walked through the door. They were now inching closer, desperate to salvage their dignity. Musk did not give them the satisfaction of attention. Instead, he turned back to Jordan. "I will take the E-Class," he said, his voice loud enough for everyone to hear. "In fact, I will pay for it outright." The silence that followed was deafening. "And while we are at it," Musk continued, "I have another offer for you." Jordan's brows furrowed. "An offer?" Musk nodded. "Yes. How would you like to join Tesla?" The air stilled. "We are always looking for people who care about what they do and how they treat others," Musk explained. "From what I have seen today, you would fit right in." Jordan's mouth opened slightly, but no words came out. The room was so quiet that the faint hum of the air conditioning seemed almost deafening. Finally, they managed to stammer, I do not know what to say." "Say yes," Musk replied with a smile. "We can work out the details later." The other employees stood rooted in place, their earlier arrogance replaced by stunned regret. Musk did not bother acknowledging them. They had made their choices. The consequences were now plain to see. Jordan straightened, their voice trembling but firm. Yes. Thank you. I would be honored. Musk clapped them on the shoulder. Good. Now, let us get that car sorted, shall we? As the paperwork was finalized, the atmosphere in the dealership shifted dramatically. Where there had once been dismissal and disdain, there was now uneasy silence. The same salespeople who had scoffed at Musk earlier now watched helplessly as he engaged only with Jordan. Their expressions, once filled with arrogance, now held a mix of regret and envy. Musk leaned against the counter, observing the scene as it unfolded around him. It was not the vindication that satisfied him. It was the validation of his experiment. In a place driven by status and appearance, one person had proven that kindness and integrity could still shine through. After signing the final documents, Musk turned to Jordan, who still seemed to be processing the whirlwind of events. This is not just about the car, Musk said, his voice quieter now, almost reflective. It is about what you did today. Jordan met his gaze, listening intently. You did not judge me. You treated me like I mattered, even when you thought I had nothing to offer, Musk continued. That is rare. And it is something the world needs more of. Jordan nodded, their eyes glistening with a mix of pride and emotion. I just did what I thought was right, they admitted. And that, Musk said, is exactly why I know you will go far. He let his gaze sweep across the showroom one last time. The senior salespeople who had belittled him earlier looked away, their confidence now replaced by awkward unease. Musk did not need to say anything to them. His actions had already spoken louder than any words ever could. Before leaving, he turned to address the entire room, his voice carrying a quiet authority. Judging people by their appearance is easy. It is lazy. But seeing past that, treating people with respect, regardless of who they are or what they look like, that is the mark of real character. With that, he turned back to Jordan. I will have someone from Tesla's recruitment team reach out to you, Musk assured them. And do not worry, the car is yours to handle. Thanks for everything. Jordan smiled, still looking as if they could not quite believe what had just happened. Thank you, Mr. Musk, they said, their voice full of genuine gratitude. Call me Elon, Musk said with a wink. As Musk stepped out of the dealership and into the sunlight, the moral weight of the day settled over everyone who had witnessed the event. The whispers that had started when he first walked in were now replaced by thoughtful silence. Because every single person in that room was now left with a question they could not ignore. How often had they judged someone unfairly? And how many opportunities had they missed because of it? For Musk, the experiment had proven more than he had anticipated. It was never just about testing perceptions, it was about reaffirming his belief in human potential. Beneath the layers of prejudice and bias, there were always individuals willing to rise above, to act with empathy and decency, regardless of circumstances. As he walked toward his waiting car, Musk could not help but smile. It was not the car or the reveal that made the day worthwhile. It was the simple truth that, in a place where status dictated treatment, someone had chosen to show kindness without expecting anything in return. And in the end, that was the real lesson. Appearances may deceive. But the heart never lies.